Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kenna and I'm a Cameroonian YouTuber based in Douala, Cameroon. Today I'll be sharing with you the jobs I have done. And I graduated from the university 2009. Jeez, that's 10 years ago. Okay, and over time I've done a couple of jobs, and I'm just doing this video because I want this video to serve as encouragement for people who are leaving school, because a lot of youths these days, they're just like, I can't work here, I can't do this type of job, I can't do that kind of job because I have a degree, I have a master's, I need a particular kind of job before I go and sit in an office to work. But that's not the case. You always have to start from somewhere. Some people start small, but some other people are lucky. A few are lucky to just start big. But I always advise you to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere to go to where you're going to get to where you're going to. Like I've always said, I studied journalism and mass communication in the university, so most of the times you would like to think that okay, it means that most of the things that I've done should be journalism and mass communication oriented, but that really is not the case. In my country, in Cameroon, it's not that easy to just say okay, I did this, I'll follow just this path, because it's in fact the level of job scarcity to begin with. You just see people tending to do things that they did not study in school because they're just like trying to fit themselves anywhere to make a living. When I graduated from the university, the very first place I worked at was at this Catholic radio station in Boya. It's called Divine Mercy Radio. I don't know whether that radio station is still in existence, but we're the pioneer, is that the way they call it, the pioneer batch of workers. There were three of us, three ladies, and we started working there. Guys, it was not easy. The radio used to start by 5 a.m. so the car will come to pick us between 4 to 4:30 because before we go there and arrange everything for the radio to start. So it wasn't easy, and then sometimes you have to close work at 3, at 5 p.m. so I became so pale, I was so slim, I did not have time for myself. I could not do anything because I was also working from Monday to Sunday. Like it was so tiring. So I got so stressed, I got so thin, and my parents were just like, Kenna, this thing, you don't come and kill yourself. Or if it's not working, then you let go. So after 6 months of working there, I left it, and that's when I went to Yaoundé to do my master's. I got to Yaoundé and I started doing my master's, and I discovered that I was having classes just like twice every week. The rest of the week I'll just stay home. Sometimes you have a class once a week, and I was like, I feel as if I'm actually wasting my time. From Monday to Friday, you just sit in your room, you're not doing anything. So I talked to a couple of people and I'm like, I want to do something, even if it's an internship or anything. Like I just want to have somewhere that I go to, because I feel like I'm wasting my time just sitting here attending classes twice a week, once a week. Like it's so boring. I cannot be sitting like that at home always. So I had an internship. They weren't paying me anything. I had this internship at this NGO, non-governmental organization, and it was a kind of research NGO where they were doing different researches on different things, guys. It wasn't easy. When this guy that I was working for discovered that I was doing it, when I was in SWA, all my notes were in French. I was the one who used to translate my notes. That guy, he turned me into his translator. He used to give me piles and piles of documents to translate. I was doing research. Like it wasn't easy, but I did that for all the time that I was there. And then the guy wasn't paying me. He was always telling me, oh, when money comes, he'll give me money, he'll give me money, he'll give me something. I work, but for me, I was just like, okay, even if you don't pay me, even if I'm spending my money and I'm not getting anything in return, I was just looking at it like this is a learning experience. Like I'm learning, I'm gaining work experience. So I grabbed my 9 months work experience from there. After my master's went wrong, I left and I came back to Boya. When I got to Boya, I sat in the house 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and I'm like, Jesus, will I continue sitting like this in this house? Like, is this really possible? It was so boring to just get up and sit, cook, clean, sit. Like, it was so boring. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look for something to do here in Buea. So I started looking, and just by my house they were opening this school, Pan Bilingual, and they were looking for teachers. So I was just like, okay, let me go and try, let me apply as an English teacher or something. So I went there and I applied as an English teacher, and I was taken. I started working there. So I started working there as a teacher, and I was teaching Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 and Form 4. I taught and taught and taught for like 3 months, and then the person that hired me was a guy. It was this guy, he hired me, and then, you know, all the school politics, in every office that there's politics. So there was politics. There was this lady who made him leave the post. The owner of the school fired the guy, and so this lady now comes and she's like, everybody who does not have like teaching background, you have to go. So I was laid off, guys. I got fired from that job because they're like, journalist, huh? Where is a journalist coming from teaching children English? Like, you've got to go, you have to go. So I was dumped by the owners of the school. I got fired. I came back home and I sat again for like a month, and I'm like, you know what, I cannot stay in this Buea. It's like there are no opportunities. I can't stay in this Buea. I want to move to Douala. So I decided to go and do computer classes in Douala, and I'm like, okay, as I'm going to do these computer classes in Douala, I am going to be looking for work, because you never know, I could be lucky. There are more opportunities in Douala. I'll be meeting more people. There are more opportunities in Douala than me staying in Buea. It's a little like, it's difficult to have like even a good job in Buea. It's very difficult, because most of the times all the big companies, they hire from their head offices here in Douala and then send them to offices in Buea. So you need to be in Douala to get the good job. So I came to Douala, and guys, when I got to Douala, my cousin that I was living with had this little shop. She had a shop where she was selling kids clothes and women's clothing. So I became a sales girl. Each morning when we get up and we cook and clean the house, by 12 we'll go to the shop and we sell there till like 8 p.m. So I just decided to put that in my CV, because I learned a lot of skills while I was there. I learned balancing the books and all that. I learned how to sell, to bargain to people and all that. So yeah, yes, that's where my business skills began. So yeah, I was a sales girl at my cousin's place for almost a year and a half. She was always leaving her business to me, like when she has to travel, when she has things to do, like I'll be the one to open the shop and manage the shop. So I learned a lot of managing and all that at her shop. As I was working at the shop, I was as well still looking for work and all that. So inside all that time, I finally got an interview to work at STV, that's Spectrum Television, a TV station here in Douala. I went for the interview, I got the job. I worked as a journalist in that place for I think a year and a half, and then I had to leave. At that time of me leaving STV, just a little while after, that's when I had my kids. I haven't worked in an office since then. I haven't worked in an office since 2014, yeah. I haven't worked in an office since then. But I could not just sit like that. I decided to start business. So I started selling with my sister. Like my sister abroad was sending me things for me to sell and all that. So I was always doing something. There hasn't really been a time that I've been home and I'm not doing anything. I'm always selling today. I'm always doing something and something. I just try to keep myself busy, because it's not easy to stay like that. So guys, those are the jobs I did. Those are the jobs I have done in my life, and as I'm speaking to you, I'll keep doing new things. Like, I'm ready. Anything that I hear that can give me money, I'm ready to do it, because in Cameroon, it's survival for the fittest. You cannot just sit like, oh, I'm looking for work in an office, and you just sit, oh I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting. Like, no, you always have to be doing something. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Love you. Bye.